Congressman, great to be with you, sir.
Great to be with you too.
Thanks so much for your time today. The 100 days of Trump. That's why we're all here. I noted with Congressman Burleson a little while ago, this is your first day back, the House, and it's Media Row Day. That is, you guys are making yourselves available to us, and I was just kind of curious if there was some wisdom behind that.
When you talk about what we're going to be judged on, the first 100 days sets the bar. What are our goals? And then what have we actually gotten done? Now, the president's moving at lightning speed. It's hard to keep up, quite frankly. Lots of executive orders. Every day I read, this is what the White House put it, this is what the change is, this is the impact you're going to have. But that's all temporary. If you're going to lock it into law, if you're going to have something a business can actually plan for, that they can rely on, we had to lock in place the TCJA tax cuts, something that was done at the end of the Trump administration, that the Biden administration benefited from the entire time he was in president. It actually kept employment at a good rate. But if you got rid of that, and by the way, that was a Republican law, but if you got rid of that, it would be devastating to business. It would increase the cost of business. You'd see less jobs, less revenue. We actually showed by analysis that it actually create more revenue to the government. Now, everybody's heard of the Laffer curve. You can go overboard on that. If you don't tax anybody anything, you get no revenue. But I think we're at the sweet spot right now where we're producing enough jobs with enough taxable income that actually benefits the United States government. Deregulating, make sure that R&D credit is locked into place yearly rather than a 5-year deferred. Making sure that we don't have burdensome regulation on just building things. I mean, we had a road in my district, 3/4 of a mile needed to be repaved. They did an EPA review that cost $700,000, delayed the project for 18 months just to repave it. I mean, that's ludicrousy. I always said in the military, never let a rule make you stupid, because we knew we were going to repave that. The fact that we had to delay it and make it more expensive, who does that hurt? The very people we're supposed to be serving. Ultimately, that's what drives me crazy, whether it be in healthcare or business regulation or anything else we're doing. It should ultimately benefit the civilians we serve. And that's what drives me crazy. Is a lot of times we do things to lord over. That's the opposite of what the Constitution was designed for. Protect our inalienable rights, give you the right to succeed, whether you have a business, a family, or education, whatever you're doing. We need to get out of the way. We are the problem. We need to quit turning back to the government. We keep on turning to the very problem, the very institution that caused the problem in the first place. That's the government.
You mentioned your military service, and forgive my ignorance, you and I just met. Could you tell me a little about your military background?
So I spent almost 17 years in the Marine Corps as both a pilot, did some airborne time, was a Marine officer instructor at Georgia Tech and Morehouse. Then did my pre-med, went to medical school, came back in as an ER doctor for the Navy, serving on a Marine Corps base, did a couple tours in the Middle East, Africa, Korea, India, and then my last tour as an ER doctor in Afghanistan as the head of emergency medicine in 2016.
That's an impressive resume. Let me ask you then what you think of the current Department of Defense led by Pete Hegseth.
So I think we're on the right track. We've gotten rid of the DEI initiatives that were distracting us from ultimately achieving our mission. If accomplishing your mission is not the main objective, I don't know what is. We're not going to be fighting against a politically correct enemy. When China is outpacing us in R&D and development of weapon systems, when their aircraft or their hypersonic missiles or whatever they have start outpacing us, we're in trouble. We need to make sure we're laser focused in acquisitions for our contracting that is streamlined, that we're no longer into legacy systems that take 10 years to develop, 10 years to institute, and 10 years to sustain. Those days are over. Now we have to be able to adjust every single year, get back to the warfighting mentality. I just came from University of North Georgia, watching their young warriors and future officers in the Army going out there and actually using science to develop their physical fitness, make sure they're focused on achieving the mission, making sure that each warrior is optimized in their physical fitness and their mentality to actually achieve the mission rather than to make sure I don't say the wrong word to you and offend you. That is the most ridiculous thing that ever happened in the military. We need to rid ourselves of anybody who's in that political arena and get back to warfighting.
Pete Hegseth specifically, and I'll let you run because I know your time is tight. This town seems uniquely poised to try to take him out politically. Can you explain that to me? What's going on in this city and why so many people dislike him?
He wrote a book basically talking about DEI in the military and how it's ruined our warrior ethos. I couldn't agree with him more. Now, realize that he's not the warfighter anymore. He's administrative. It's hard to be the commandant of the Marine Corps because you're a 4-star general in charge of the Marines, but you don't lead them in the battle, but you prep them for the battlefield. That's what
warfighters seem to like him, though.
We love him because I remember when Al Gray turned over when I was a Marine in the late '80s, and Al Gray took over as Colonel of the Marine Corps. This guy was a warrior. He came to work in his camis, not in khakis, came in camis. He ate with his hands. He talked to Marines like warriors. He was all about setting them up to fight the fight. He knew he wasn't going to lead them into battle, but he was setting up each, whether it be CENTCOM, AFRICOM, any of the commanders, so that those warriors were ready to fight battle. That's what Pete Hegseth is trying to do, set the table so that when they go to war, they have the right mentality, the right equipment to actually win a contracted engagement, or if it's just a special ops engagement, making sure they're equipped and supplied with all the right information and technologies that's going to actually accomplish a mission. That's a beautiful thing when it comes to the kill chain.
The Georgia 7th must be very proud of their congressman. So good to meet you, Congressman McCormick. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thanks.